In this video, I will be explaining what the late captain of Squad 4, UNOHANA'S Bankai, is. Restu UNOHANA, also known as Yachiru UNOHANA, was the second oldest captain in the Gotai 13 next to Yamamoto, and throughout the story, she was portrayed as nothing but a healer, and this was even reflected in her personality. She was very calm and reserved. She never once lost her temper, and if you compared her to the other captains and members of the Gotai 13, she was definitely the odd one out. And most importantly, we never got to see her fight until the Thousand Year Blood War arc, and this battle was very memorable because she finally revealed her Bankai. And in this video, I will be explaining what her Bankai is. But before I do that, it is important for me to completely break down her Zanpakuto. UNOHANA'S Zanpakuto is called Minazuki, and in its base form, it has a very unique shape. Her Zanpakuto is slightly slanted, which makes you think it must be hard for her to sheath her sword with a design like that. However, her scabbard has been designed to accommodate her Zanpakuto. In chapter 154, UNOHANA'S Shikai is revealed to the audience, but unfortunately, to this day, we still don't know what the release command for her Shikai is. In addition, we also don't know what happens when her Shikai is released, but luckily for us, we know what her Shikai is. In its Shikai form, Minazuki becomes a giant green, one-eyed, manta-like creature. Not much is known about this creature, however, we know that by spreading its wings, it has the ability to fly, and UNOHANA makes the most of this by using it as a means of transportation. But that's not all. Minazuki also has another ability. By swallowing injured individuals into its belly, it is capable of healing injuries. It has never been properly explained, but we can assume that Minazuki's stomach acids have powerful healing agents that can heal injuries. It's either that or it has the same healing blood as Kirinji's blood pond, and that's how it heals injuries. After all, Kirinji was the one who taught UNOHANA how to heal. But hey, that's just a theory. Minazuki is one of the rare Zanpakutos in the Bleach universe that can take on the form of a living creature like Mayuri's Ashisogi Jizo. When UNOHANA decides to seal her Shikai, Minazuki turns into a liquid-like substance and enters into her scabbard, and after that, it returns back to its regular form. Like I said before, we didn't get to see UNOHANA fight until the Thousand Year Blood War arc. And you know what? The wait was worth it. This was quite the battle. See, in order to teach Kenpachi Zanjutsu, her and Zaraki have a battle to the death. And after suffering a deadly wound from Kenpachi, she unleashes her Bankai, Minazuki. And you're probably thinking, isn't this the same name as her Shikai? And the answer is yes. See, UNOHANA'S Minazuki is the only Zanpakuto in Bleach that never changes names in all three of its forms. The only thing that changes is the kanji. The kanji for her Shikai is flesh drops gorge, while the kanji for her Bankai translates to all things end. And I have to say, this is very fitting for her Bankai. Anyways, to activate her Bankai, she has to grip the edge of her sword and literally slice her hand across the blade, which obviously causes her to bleed. And in the process, her entire Zanpakuto is engulfed in blood. In addition, blood literally starts to rain down, and because of this, their entire surrounding is flooded in blood. It was basically a blood pond. Now lend me your ear for a sec, because I have a theory I believe that, similar to how Yamamoto can resurrect every opponent that he has ever killed with Ryujin Jaka, Unohana can also summon the blood of every victim she has ever killed with Minazuki, and this was the blood that flooded her entire surroundings. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys agree with my theory or not. Anyways, after Unohana's Bankai is activated, her Zanpakuto basically becomes a blood blade, and her and Zaraki continue to battle it out, and Kenpachi manages to cut Unohana. However, her wound immediately heals, and this is very confusing because there could be two explanations for this. The first one being that she just used Kaido to heal herself, and the second is that it could be an ability of her Bankai. I am personally on the side that it is an ability of Minazuki, and this is because after Unohana is cut by Kenpachi, she also cuts him and her wound is healed. So I am guessing that in order to use the healing ability of her Bankai, she needs a sacrifice, i.e. the blood of her opponent. The core ability of Unohana's Bankai is blood manipulation. But before I carry on with the video, I feel like it is very important for us to go back to the source material, and this is because in the original manga, we didn't get to see the full extent of Unohana's Bankai, and I am not even exaggerating. It was very bad. She never manipulated blood. We never saw the healing ability of Minazuki, and on top of that, we didn't even see her surroundings flooded in blood. All we saw was her Zanpakuto covered in blood. However, thanks to the anime, we now have a better understanding of what Minazuki does. From what we saw in the anime, Unohana's Bankai can be used for both offensive and defensive purposes. For example, Unohana uses the blood to create short and long blades. She can either use the longer blades to attack from long distances, or she can use the short blades to create a sphere that can protect her from her opponent's attacks. However, in order for this to work, she must repeatedly swing her Zanpakuto. Anyways, amidst the battle, both of them take on the form of skeletons. But don't be fooled. This isn't literally happening. It is just a visual representation of both Kenpachi and Unohana finally breaking their shackles and revealing who they truly are: bloodthirsty savages. And back in the day, when the two of them suddenly transformed into skeletons, it caused a lot of confusion because, like I previously said before, when her Bankai was initially released, we didn't really know what it could do, and because of this, fans and myself included created many theories. Examples of these theories were that her Bankai enabled her to create acid, and that was what was dissolving their skin and revealing their skeletons. Another theory was that Minazuki enabled her to create hot boiling blood that can dissolve someone's skin. And now that I think about it, these theories actually made sense. We didn't really have a lot of information to go off, and we were kind of close, I guess. A common rule when it comes to Shikai and Bankai is that they always mirror each other and rarely ever have major differences between them. However, this does not apply to Unohana's Zanpakuto because her Shikai is the complete opposite of her Bankai. Her Shikai is a friendly creature, while her Bankai, on the other hand, literally embodies death. And I believe that this was done on purpose because it is almost like a reflection of Unohana herself. 1 minute, she's a friendly healer, and in the next moment, she's a bloodthirsty killer. I think it's worth mentioning that Unohana never goes out of her way to explain what her Bankai actually does. She just activates it and proceeds to kick ass like a total Chad. And when it comes to Kubo Sensei, he is definitely using the technique of show, don't tell. And this is because he has never gone out of his way to elaborate on this. And this is very strange because usually in Bleach, characters feel the need to explain their powers and abilities to their opponents. However, in Unohana's situation, she just activated her Bankai and that was it. So yeah, I'm just going to assume that Kubo Sensei wants us to figure it out for ourselves. And you know what? I kind of like this. It's fun to come up with theories and also hear what other people's theories are. And this enables us to let our imaginations run wild, bounce ideas off each other, and also create further discussions in our community. Let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of Unohana's Bankai. Do you love it or hate it? And also, if you enjoyed the video, then please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.